Hey, welcome. Hey, AJ, welcome to my synchronicity based live stream. I just start live streaming whenever and see who syncs in. Maybe that's the way forward. Maybe I should just do them at random times now and see who syncs up. This is the future, synchronicity. Oh, hey, AJ, welcome. Glad to see your new subscribers. It's hard going as a YouTuber these days. It's like quite hard to get views. I find it harder to get views than before. I know I should be grateful for just 100 views, but I've always had a goal sort of to get over 1,000 views on all my videos. It's going quite well. When I do channeling videos, there's a good chance I can get them up over 1,000 views if I make the effort to make the thumbnails look good and all stuff. And but because I think a lot of people look out for the channeling videos, but just doing regular videos, because I can't channel all the time. I think I'd be dead by now if I did like a channeling video every week. So yeah, so it's always good to see new subscribers on the channel. And it's good fun anyway. I just had a break. I normally I sometimes do them quite regularly, these live streams, but I decided to have a break for a couple of weeks, and I sorry, I've got broken a little bit of my toenail, and I meant to cut it off before I started the live stream, but I've forgotten. So I'm sure you wanted to know that, but if you're wondering why I'm playing with my foot. So you only just subscribed. Anyway, what am I talking about? So, what are we talking about? What is the theme for today's live stream? Sometimes I find it hard to talk about these things. Sorry, you're gonna have to give me 1 second. I'm just gonna have to chop. Give me 1 second. Apologies, I am back. So, Yeah, sometimes I find it hard to find an entry point into these talks because don't I guess it's kind of like my higher self has an idea what we would like to explore tonight, and it can take me a while to tune into that. I can just sit here and meditate, but obviously if I start a live stream and I'm just sat here meditating for 15 minutes, I get a bit self-conscious that that people are going to be getting impatient, so I'm just sat here in silence. But the view count always tends to go up actually when I'm just sat here in silence. But so I've seen some star-looking orbs in the sky a couple of months ago. Not sure if one was a satellite, but one went behind the cloud and never came out from behind it. Laughing out loud. One went behind the clouds and never came out from it. Well, satellites tend not to hide behind clouds, but so yes, so I've had another couple of sightings this last week, one 2 nights ago, and one about a week ago. Like the one 2 nights ago, it was I looked out my bedroom window, so I'm looking that way, which is north-ish, I think. And there was just this glowing orange ball of light there. And it see, I'm not in the flow. It doesn't feel right to talk about it yet. I think we're going to have to meditate for a few minutes to see how they want to go about this. I think we need to meditate, yes. So what's going on with you guys? You got any questions? If you want to ask any questions about anything, might get us started. I think being a channel, sometimes I need questions to get me I guess mirroring, reflecting what the collective wants. Like somehow I can't really get flowing, and then sometimes I just get into the flow. We need some questions. Hey, Robin, Shivai, welcome. You have a question, Robin? Have you heard of Tony Rodriguez' secret space program experience? I won't say my personal view on it yet, but asking. Um, I'm not sure. The no, Tony Rodriguez rings a bell, but yeah. What do you think to this or the secret space program stuff in general, AJ? I'm I guess I'm sort of quite on the fence on the surface. Like I know a lot of people who like back Corey Good and seems to think he's legitimate. And there's definitely some cool things about him. And I do value David Wilcock somewhat, but also I'm not sure that's a reality I prefer to focus upon. Have you had any activations? Have I had any activations? What do you mean more specifically by an activation, Robin? I'll just have a look at him, see if he's the guy that because I did actually happen to watch an interview with a new secret space program insider today, even though, like I say, I don't watch those sort of things. Tony Rodriguez. No, I don't think this is the guy I was just listening to. But I'm not sure. It's interesting. Yeah, there does seem to be something to it, but I don't like to focus too much on things that go too negative because we create our own reality, and especially in these more like fourth density visions of realities. Like we gotta be careful what we focus upon because things are becoming more malleable, and we don't want to create realities we don't prefer. Like Corey Good like talks about warring with like reptilians and space. and all sorts of dark stuff. So I just prefer not to focus on that stuff because I guess that's one potential reality. I sometimes feel like, but what about Corey Good? Like, can I just let him to fall into his hole of reptilian wars? But I guess I shouldn't go in there with him. So Robin Enzio asked, have you had any activations? And I asked for more specific what he meant. And he said, like downloads and activations from beings. So yes, definitely, Robin. So I guess the most profound was when I've had like some contact experiences, and I've had this experience twice. And like the first time I had this experience, I don't remember having contact, but I'm fairly certain I did because I just recently had the same experience again. And this time I remember some of the contacts with the ETs, and so like the first time it happened, and similarly the second time it happened, I was in the forest and I had like I think what might have happened. Don't quote me on this because I keep wanting to understand more fully about this, but I think I had a Kundalini awakening as a result of coming into the energetic field of the ETs. And what that felt like to me was just feels like there's a lot of energy moving up and down your spine, and it's like having a lot of energy, like a lot of energy. And it can even seem to tap into non-physical energy connected with it, like perhaps what we might even start to call superpowers, but just more like a lot of energy of the universe running through us, so we can act very intuitively and with great energy and force if we were trained in that direction. And it was part of our alignment to get. I just think of my experience of feeling like I could channel kung fu if I wanted to, but my body wasn't quite in the right shape, and I didn't have the knowledge of kung fu to do it properly. But I felt I could have done it anyway if it was necessary. And with this very powerful energy, it's like when you're in the consciousness of the ETs in their aura, in their location, you can like channel the consciousness of the universe. Like we have another level of energy, and it's almost like magic, but it's just I guess it's been very tuned in to the flow of creation, and kind of like imagine being able to do kung fu in real time and trust synchronicity and intuition for how to like defend yourself and do the right moves at the right time. And at some point it sort of takes over. Not that I was doing kung fu, but at some point after the experience I was sort of running, moving through the forest fast, trying to keep out of the sight of the military crafts that had come to see why there's UFOs showing up on their radar as they drop me off. So yeah, it is almost like when you have a contact experience and then you come back, well, at least with the ETs I've had, it is like you get supercharged with all this energy, and it is very much like being in a way like a superhero in a movie. It's like you're extremely energized, and like physical feats that would normally seem extremely challenging to you, you would just do without thinking about it, and probably feel the circumstances a few days after. This is what happens to me. Yeah. But at the time you don't really feel it, and you have like skills and intuition and energy and reactions and perceptions on a much heightened sense and level, and much more heightened psychic ability and sensitivity to other people's thoughts and emotions. And this is really what you notice most, really the biggest activation you get from a contact experience is the psychic, well, I guess you could call it a psychic activation, but really it's just a side effect of coming into contact with their energy field, with their aura. And because they are extremely psychic, it seems that what happens is they begin, because we do have psychic powers and telepathic capabilities, but they're very dormant in us as humans. They haven't been used for a long time, and they're only just coming back to life. But when we have contact with an ET and the ETs start communicating telepathically, they use the same centers of communication in their body that we have in our body, and so they seem to wake up our telepathic centers, our psychic centers, very rapidly, so that we can communicate with them. And when we come back to Earth, we're like quite radically changed, because all of a sudden we're very sensitive, we're very psychic, we're very open to psychic noise and empathic absorption of others' energies. But yeah, on this path, when you've been on the spiritual path a long time, I guess it's not for everyone. People like go through different processes, but some of us are on like this sort of energy worker path, like psychic work, yoga, physical yoga, Reiki, people drawn to these sort of things are possibly what in the East they'd call like Raja yogis, like our path to awakening is an energy based one. We're very tuned into the energetics of the universe. Not everyone's like this. There's other types of paths, but I'd say perhaps like 25% of the population on this, or 20%, or I don't know what, is um, is on this path of the energy worker. This is our path to salvation, to self-realization, to deeper exploration of who we truly are. And what was I talking about? What was the question? Where was I going? Oh yeah, and for those of us that are on this path of like this energy path, and it's likely a lot of you are here, because I think a lot of people that are like star seeds and experiences and contactees, I think a part of our path is this energy side, because there's a lot of psychic communication and energetic transference, and we sort of go through a transformation of consciousness very much vibrationally, and through like receiving energetic downloads off each other. And like you, in a way, Robin, now you'll be getting a download and an activation of me, like perhaps just a very small one and a very subtle one, but like when I start talking like this, I go into like somewhat of a channeling state, and bring through a more balanced wisdom, I guess, more balanced perspective, more in alignment with my higher self's perspective and our collective's perspective, I think. And yeah, so we're getting activations and downloads all the time. But especially if we're on this path of energetic awakening. So let's play a little game, guys. So in Hinduism, they classify the path, like people's path on this world, or their path to self-realization and enlightenment and finding themselves, into 4 classifications and 4 sort of general paths that can be taught. And so in theory, everyone here should fit into one of these general sort of themes. So you guys tell me, if you don't mind, which one you think you fit into after I've explained them all. So first up, like I was saying before, the one classification is the Raja. I think this is right. If anyone corrects me if I get it wrong, but it's something along these lines. The first one is Raja Yoga. 4 yogas. Like yoga means to yoke in or something, to bring yourself back into source. Sort of paths to self-realization, basically, to enlightenment. So Raja Yoga is an energy-based path, and I think this includes like hatha yoga, like physical yoga, like yoga exercise, because it's using energy like in the exercise, but also it can be like psychic energies, like what I do. So I'm a Raja yogi, and because I do channeling, and I guess people that did Reiki would be Raja yogis, and Perhaps people that are like outstanding athletes would be Raja yogis, and that would be their path to self-realization. Path to self-realization. That's a deep subject, but we'll just use that term loosely at the minute. Um, and then, so you've also got karma yogis. Are you a karma yogi? A karma yogi is someone who likes to serve. It's the path of service, service to others. And so the idea of clearing your karma, keep offering positive vibrations out to the universe, keep serving others. So I guess eventually the positive energy is going to start coming back to you and back to you and back to you, and raise your frequency or something like that. You become enlightened, or you become more aligned to your truer perspective. And the third way is bhakti yoga, the path of devotion. You know, like when you see the Hare Krishnas and or people that like sing a lot, sing the praises of God. This is devotion, the path of devotion. I think in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna, he says that the path to devotion is the fastest path to enlightenment, Arjuna. Therefore, you should follow the path to devotion. I guess it's just like seeing God in everywhere, like seeing the highest, seeing oneness, seeing the Creator, that we are in our truest nature in everything, and being in ceremony of that, being in like ritual to that. Just constantly reminding ourselves that we are the one, we are one, we are the one, we are one. And the other version is it's got Bhakti, Karma, Raja, and Gyani Yoga. Gyani, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Jnani Yoga. And this is the path of wisdom and going inwards. And I guess more the classic sort of Eastern spiritual seeker guru who just goes off to India and spends time sitting at satsangs and meditating and reading spiritual books and going inwards and being very reclusive and inwards, and just disappears inwards for 10-15 years, and then suddenly pops out one day and says, I have found the answer, it was here all along, it is me, I am enlightened. And so that's the Gyani Yoga. They meditate, they study, they go inwards. And so it's likely that all us here are more, I wonder if a lot of us here are like Raja, like energy yoga oriented, being like star seeds and having the ET connection and this psychic connection. So I wonder if like a lot of us here would be classified as Raja yogis in Hinduism. Yeah, Danny's saying, for me, I would say a mix of the four, and we are always a mix of the four. We tend to have a predominant one, but we always have the other three as well. It's a makeup of all four. And I think in Hinduism they encourage people to incorporating a little bit of each one into a spiritual practice. I need to be more devotional. We all need to be more devotional, I feel. Like I sense a lot of the time the ETs are like in a way that their whole life is one big ritual to the highest. Like they all understand the spectacular, like, mind-blowing sacredness of creation and the creator in all things as us, as us as one consciousness. And they celebrate this like naturally in every moment. I guess it's gratitude, and love and appreciation for who we are and where we come from and our truest self. And the more we focus on this, the more gratitude, the more clear it becomes that we are like in our truest nature, just pure awe, infinite awe, and spectacular, timeless. Hi, Mishari. Oh, Mishari, you say you're Guyani. Yeah, I think it's spelled where you put an I. I think it's a J. Or no, J. I'm not sure how you spell it, to be honest, but I think it might be spelled with a J, not a G. Someone say the singing one. I love to sing. Yeah, I mean, I do you find you're quite a devotional person, Lunatic? Like you have a lot of a lot of love for the highest, for whatever we call it, source, God, the one creator, the infinite self. Do you have a lot of love for like, these higher dimensions of ourself? You like to express that in singing? Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's devotion, bhakti yoga, I believe. Someone saying, I feel like I would resonate more with the calmer one. You mentioned having psychic connection with ET in relation to the first question mark group. I believe I communicate with a reptilian entity. I communicate with yeah. Yeah, I'm fairly certain now that that group that I had connection with in 2009 and again last year in 2018 were the Yael. And if you follow Bashar, you might have heard of the Yael. So that all answers your other question. What ET beings do you feel most connected to? The Yael, mostly normally. Just looking through the questions, seeing if so I guess I better talk a little about the UFO sightings I had this week, being as that was the title of this video. And so it wasn't anything particularly spectacular. Well, I guess it was, but not like spectacular like the sighting I had 3 weeks ago. So this one was just a light, just about maybe a mile or two away, just like floating in the sky. It disappeared. It's sort of orange light, got brighter, blinked out, disappeared for a minute, came back after a minute, got brighter. There for about 10-15 seconds and this disappeared. But then a more interesting one, like 2 nights ago, was I just looked out the window and there was an orange light where there shouldn't be an orange light in the sky. And there's some cloud drifting in, like light clouds, and it faded out slowly. How they tend to. I've seen it fade like this a few times. And then after a few seconds, it came back. And it came on quite bright. And zoom, and went off completely, like really fast. So that's 3 sightings in about 3 weeks. Three weeks and a day, maybe. And also they keep coming in astral. Like I can sense their energy. Like I think this morning and definitely the other night. Definitely Friday night. Or was it the Friday night before? No, it can't have been. Might have been the week before, but this morning as well. And I sense them coming in astral. You can sense them coming in, and the energy changes in the atmosphere, in the air, quite profoundly. And it can, the air can become very, very still, like incredible stillness in the air, literally the window just dropped completely. I think it's a reflection of the stillness of their consciousness. Okay, thanks, AJ. See ya. I gotta go too, I think, because it seems a good place to stop the live stream. So it was nice live streaming, guys. Seems not a huge lot to talk about at the minute on YouTube. It's just the way the energy is. I think everyone's been through such profound changes, or is going through such profound changes. Like, no one needs too much information at the minute. How are you guys all doing? How have you found the energies? And how has your life been over the last 2 weeks as you went through the equinox? It seems to have. Hey, Photo, welcome. Just asking before we finish up the live stream how people have experienced the energies of the last 2 weeks since we went through the equinox. It's for me, it seems really, it seemed like the energies just got very strongly a few days after the equinox. I don't know if I didn't quite catch up at first, but then the weekend after the equinox, it was like the energy was extremely powerful, and we've been forced to go through a big shift this week. A lot of change for me, a lot of change for a lot of people, I think, and being forced into a new reality. A lot of people were talking about this as like the events will happen this equinox, and it does feel to have been a really powerful shift. So just interested on your guys' perceptions. Yes, it's been rock and roll, roller coaster, amazing realizations, exciting, up and down and foggy. Different emotions those last weeks. Interesting to work with those emotions though. As I work out my negative beliefs, I feel closer and closer to my center. Okay, thanks guys. So it's amazing how fast these live streams go. It's like I just logged on to do just a quick short one. It didn't even feel like I've really done one. I just thought I'd check in because I haven't done one for a while, and it felt quite exciting just to check in and talk about something, even though I didn't have anything specific to talk about except for the UFO sightings this week. But like 52 minutes have gone already. It's like crazy. So yes, so I guess we're shifting at the minute. We're mid-shift. Everyone's pretty exhausted, if they're anything like me. And so we're just sort of doing our best to stay high, ride the wave, to ride the wave. And it hasn't been quite so much for me to do video stuff recently. But I do love doing the YouTubes, and I love doing the live streams. So I'm sure I will, at some point, I will be back doing more live streams. I'm almost doing it weekly anyway, so who knows? I might be back next week as well. But I'm just having a little bit of a break at the minute, I guess. ready for the next phase of the mission, whatever that be. So thanks for tuning in every week, guys, because I really appreciate you guys tuning in, because without you tuning in, I wouldn't be able to do this live stream at all. Well, I would, but I like to see like around 13 or 14 people watching. Like if it's on 14, I'm like happy. And like, oh, 15, it's just gone up to 15. So I really appreciate every single one of you, because without every single one of you, we wouldn't be on like 15 viewers. And like when it dips down to like 6 or 5 or 4, I'm like, oh my gosh, no one's watching. And I start and it knocks me off center a bit. I think I need like a little bit of a bigger audience to tap into the energy a bit as well. I think when there's 15 people watching, like, and we get a bit of a flow going, and it feels good. And so I really appreciate all you that log in every week. Just even though it seems YouTube's a bit tough to get views on these days, we're getting just enough to like make it worthwhile to keep going and through these tough times on YouTube. And yeah, so yeah, and maybe I'll get a more regular slot, who knows. Who knows? I am sort of trying to do it like around 6, 7 p.m. UK time on Wednesdays. And I've been fairly accurate to that within an hour or two. So, except I've had the last 2 weeks off, I think, definitely last week. Just felt like having a break because, yeah, I was just guided to take a break from it. It was getting a bit stagnant, I guess, and when I'm having contact experiences like I am now, they seem to want me to like, unplug more. I guess get out of my mind, get out of perspectives, reset. So it's all going well. We're having lots of contact, we're having lots of sightings, and contact is moving forward. So perhaps we will start doing some more live stream guidance on making contacts, and because it seems like they're really wanting to make more contact with us now, so perhaps we can take advantage of this and begin to maybe I'll begin to talk a bit more about some little tools and techniques and tips and things we can do to contact ETs in our own reality. So if you want more contact yourself and you want to see more ships in the skies and sense them coming in astral and feel that super amazing still energy and connect with them in dreams even and whatever, channeling, if you want to do this, then let me know. Then meditate on it this week, and we'll begin to talk about it next week. Hi Lau Miend, welcome Netherlands to hyperspace. So we're just talking Lau. I'm just about to finish off the live stream, but we're going to start probably, if not next week, very soon, I'm sure, start talking about like techniques we can do to make more contact and how we can begin to invite in more contact ourselves. And so perhaps have a think about that this week before next week's live stream, or the next live stream we do. I'll try and do one next Wednesday, 6 p.m. UK time. And we will make contact. Oh, thanks, Junatic. I'll have a look at your posts. I'll have a quick look at it now while we're still online, if I can find it. Oops. Yeah, the sightings are normally for ourselves. They tend to are they just photos or videos? Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, no, normally they are just for us. It's like my friend was saying that lives nearby. If you see any lights, to like tell me straight away. And then I saw one like that night or next night after, and I was going to tell him, but it's like there's not really any point because like they're showing themselves to me. I believe they're communicating directly with me. And if they wanted to communicate directly with them, they could do quite easily. You know, they don't need me to. It's not like they're just random lights hovering in the field. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot more contact going on recently, which is really cool. Anyway, I'm going to log off, I think, guys, even though we're up to 17 viewers, which is the highest we've been on all call. Because, yeah, I don't really feel a huge amount to talk about this week. I think we should all rest, get some good R&R, and prepare ourselves for what's coming, whatever that is, because I'm sure we have an exciting reality come. How do you feel when you have the urge to channel? Quite energized. I like get that sort of Kundalini energy I was talking about come on, and I'll sometimes start laughing with the energy. The energy can make me laugh. I'm very energized and hyped up. It's not like meditative, it's very excited energy. Anyway, so we'll talk contact next week, same time-ish next week, probably a little earlier, hopefully, maybe not. Similar time next week, Wednesday, 6 to 7 p.m. UK time, and we will talk contacts and see if we can have some more of you guys having some more sightings and get some more interaction going on between all of us, guys in this dimension and that dimension and what dimension and who knows which dimension. There's plenty of ships in the skies over Southern California right now. Much love and light sent to you all. Big things are happening soon. Plenty rest needed and lots of alive activated water. Pleiadian Christina. Yeah, see you later, guys. I think that's a good place to stop. I'll see you next week. Shivai, have a good day. Goodbye.